cause I gotta go get it. Invest in property and artistry throughout my city. That's a different type of get back, boy. I hope that you.
Hey, what's Certified Hustle? I'm Ray Measy. I got my favorite journalists in here. When it come down to Boston Mafia shit, when it come down to history of Boston, when it come down to like the black gangsters of Boston, you definitely gotta tap in with my boy's channel. Welcome to the channel, Jason Trimmins. How you doing, my boy?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Very happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this all week, you know. Been trying to do this for a minute now. Supposed to be last summer, but, you know, life happens. Some shit went down. But now we're here, man.
Finally.
Finally.
Alright, so, you know, I gotta get into it. Where'd you grow up at?
So I'm from the North Shore of Boston, Cape Ann to be exact. It's funny because, like, I feel like everybody knows Cape Cod, but when you say Cape Ann, people are like, Cape Ann, nobody's ever heard of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Gloucester, which is like the biggest city on Cape Ann, but I grew up in Rockport, which is like now it's like the whole place has changed, basically how all Massachusetts is changing with gentrification, like, you know, with so much money coming in. But I grew up in Rockport. It was a tiny, tiny little town, dude. Rockport and Gloucester are on an island, so it's like 3 sides by the ocean, and then the 4th side by the Ansquam River. You can only get there by bridge. There's the big Andrew Pyatt Bridge. There's the Cut Bridge that goes up, and boats go under it. So, like, Rockport and Gloucester, they're basically the same thing. Up until 1840, they were the same town. Sandy Bay was Rockport. It was just a neighborhood in Gloucester. But 1840, it became its own town. So I lived there till I was, like, probably 17, dude. And my upbringing there was, like, very rural, country-like almost. Like, I grew up on a dead-end street. At the end of the street, it was a gravel pit, man. My mother bought the house from, like, this people. They were called the Rofies. They had a farm, man. There was, like, chickens walking around the street every morning. The rooster would wake us up, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my neighbor, the curse, like, when it was time to come home for dinner, like, their parents used to ring the cowbell and shit, dude. Like, I grew up like I grew up like country, bro. Like, we'd go out in, like, the woods, like, sometimes overnight, just, like, making, like, forts and stuff like that. Like, our parents didn't really, you know what I mean? Like, they know we were fine. So it was pretty chill, man. It was a nice way to grow up. Like, now, as an adult, seeing, like, especially how much life has changed and stuff like that, and just also how other people have lived and stuff like that, and stuff they went through as a kid. Like, I mean, it wasn't perfect. There was stuff going on, like, but it was a pretty cool way to grow up. You know what I mean? Not everybody got to grow up like that, so I'm kind of grateful for that.
So you didn't have, like, the inner city experience?
Not at all, man. Like, my dad grew up in the Columbia Point projects until he was about 8 or 9, and then he lived in downtown Lynn, like, before urban renewal, like, in the tenements and shit. So my dad is a city kid. He met my mom at Aston Gilbert Hospital in Gloucester. He was a respiratory therapist. She was a nurse. My mother already had a kid from a previous marriage. They ended up hooking up, getting married. He moved in with her, but he was from Lynn, and he ended up, like, he came to Gloucester to work at the hospital. So he was a city kid, and but no. So my cousins and stuff, being from Lynn, I would get, like, a little taste of it when we go there for, like, you know, holidays and go visit them. And my cousins would tell me stories and stuff like that. Like, my cousins went to Lynn Classical, and my dad would always tell me stories about when he grew up in the Columbia, what it was like to go to the candy store and this and that. He'd always be telling me, like, you don't know, you know. He'd always kind of, like, almost like putting, like, kind of chip on my shoulder, like, I'm not tough because I didn't grow up like that. I'm like, I don't know, Dad. Like, you fucking built the house. You guys, you know, my mom built the house in Rockport. You married her, and we live here. Isn't it, like, a good place to raise a kid? Shouldn't I just be happy about that? But, but you know what I mean? He was always, like, trying to be, like, the tough guy, like, oh, you know. So, but
it's
no,
like, nah,
I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up like that. I grew up with fucking chickens walking around on the street and shit like that. So,
yeah, I ain't mad at that.
Go and run around the woods with my dog and shit. My dog chased me when I'm riding my bike, and, you know, go following tracks in the woods, looking for fucking, you know, fox and raccoon tracks, trying to follow them and stuff like that. You know,
hey, man,
country boy.
So, like, when did you? So, what was your high school experience, like your high school years?
My high school. So, I started getting into substances very early. Like the summer of 5th grade, going into 6th grade, I
Okay,
started.
so hold on. Let's run it back. Let's run that back all the way there. So like, hold on. We skipped from
Yeah,
like
sorry,
going
'cause
from.
it really leads into what happened in the high school, so that's why
Oh
I
really?
started talking about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
nah,
because
nah. Then go ahead.
I got expelled from high school, so that's
Okay,
why.
then nah. You then go ahead. You can keep cooking. My bad.
That's chill. All right,
Yeah, go
cool.
ahead.
Yeah, so like around like 11, the summer going into 6th grade, I hung out with a lot of older kids. My parents worked a lot. My house was always empty. There was a lot of alcohol in my house. My parents were big time drinkers, like functional alcoholics, but they were big time drinkers. So older kids in the neighborhood always putting pressure on me to, steal some alcohol. They won't know steal. So, anyways, one day some kid took some beer and like I didn't. Nobody knew, so I was like, "Fuck it." He took it. So I took it too. Started drinking, and boom, instantly just became like an everyday drinker. Like at like 11 years old, like getting shit faced, like saying like, "Oh, I don't feel good staying home from school and sitting home and getting like cocked by myself." So I got into a lot of trouble in middle school, mostly behavioral stuff, not really fighting and shit like that. A couple fights, but mostly just because school bored me. Wasn't interested. I like to learn what I like to learn, but like other stuff I could care less about. So I kind of was just a nuisance in class. You know what I mean? I would just kind of like be a wise ass and just disturb things and drinking. I'd bring alcohol to school, cigarettes to school, just kind of getting labeled. Rockport's a really small town, so by the time I went to high school, my mother was like, "We gotta get you out of Rockport. You're labeled." So I want to go to Gloucester. Gloucester's the city, and in Cape Ann, like it's all little towns. There's Rockport, Manchester, Manchester by the Sea. They changed the fucking name. Essex, Hamilton, Wenham, Ipswich. These are all these little towns in this Gloucester. I want to go to Gloucester. All my friends are in Gloucester. I'm partying in Gloucester. I'm hanging out in Gloucester. I'm selling weed in Gloucester. I'm doing all this shit. So my mom's like, "Nah, you're not going to Gloucester." So there's a lottery for Hamilton Wenham because it's a nice public school. 50 kids, school choice, can get in there. So I get the lottery. So I'm in there. I go to Hamilton Wenham. Things actually start to go good. I started playing football. I had never played football before. They didn't have football in Rockport. It was a small town. So I'm playing football. My coach really liked me. Like, dude, when I first started, I didn't even know how to put my helmet on or like my cleats and shit, dude. And I was running like on my heels instead of the balls of my feet. So like I got like a Achilles tendonitis, dude. And the first day of school, I'm the new kid. No one knows me, dude. It's my first day of school. I'm hobbling around, dude. I'm late to every class. I'm the last kid walking, and everybody's looking at me like, "Who's this kid, dude?" Coach is like, "Dude, this kid's gonna quit." So fucking, I ended up getting through that. By the end of the season, dude, I was pretty good. Like I was like natural at corner, like at cornerback on defense. I had such instincts for like the ball. The coach would always yell at me and tell me, "Don't watch the quarterback. Watch your person, your key that you're supposed to watch, like the receiver, the tight end, or whatever. Don't watch the quarterback." And I'd always watch the quarterback, and I'd always get right to the ball, dude. Like I just had instincts. So, anyways, I ended up receiving the coach's award at the end of the season, and like I kind of turned my like I was real negative in middle school. Like I was drinking a lot, hanging out with bad kids. I really didn't have much going on or any purpose. But football was like, wow, man, it really like made me feel good about myself. It gave me some self worth. My coach taught me like you can do more than you think you can. Like I used to be like, "Oh, I'm tired," or I'm hurt, and he's like, "That's just your mind telling that your body's not done yet. Your mind's telling you that you're tired. Your body's not tired." So I learned a lot about myself through sports. And then he forced me to do wrestling after that because I wasn't doing a winter sport, and he coached wrestling, so I did wrestling, and that, dude, is the hardest sport I've ever done, dude. Like
Wrestling?
yeah, Greco-Roman wrestling type shit, like they're doing the MMA stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like then put the mat down, fucking yeah. It's intense, dude. Like it was like 3 hours.
Seemed like a lot. I'll tell you that. It should seem like a lot.
Yeah. It was like 3 hour practices. Like you do stretching, your basic calisthenics. We had Miss Tassinari, who was this social studies teacher. She'd come and do aerobics with us for a half hour every day, and we'd be like doing aerobics to music with Miss Tassinari.
Hey, yo.
Then we'd have the actual practice where we'd wrestle, do the moves, learn maneuvers, and then we'd have conditioning. Like that, all that enough wasn't conditioning. We'd do like a half-hour conditioning after. So, dude, yeah, hardest sport I've ever done by far. But like, dude, it definitely like it helps you, man. Like anything that like pushes you to your limit and like shows you like what you're capable of, or like I don't know. As like a 15-year-old kid, I needed that in my life. I needed discipline. I needed like someone to like push me and be like, no, you're capable of more, because like I was just kind of like a lost kid, you know what I mean, at that point. So yeah, so freshman sophomore year, man, it wasn't bad. I was in a new school. I had a lot of different friends. I hung out with all the different cliques, playing sports. Like it wasn't bad. I was living like your normal kid's life, like yeah.
So when did you first start getting into like trouble?
Junior year, that's when things started going. Junior year started going real south. So like, number one, so I found this girl. I had a girlfriend, really pretty girl. Dumped her for another girl who I like. I remember the first time I saw this girl, I was like, oh my god, dude, just like. So I ended up like getting this girl, dude. I didn't care about anything else. Like I was just like so lustful of this girl, like so just like, dude, nothing else mattered. I didn't go to summer practices. I didn't go to shit. First day of school, I show up. My locker's like near Coach Weinhold's room. He was the social studies teacher. He didn't even like say like where you been, why you didn't show up, nothing. He said, go down the room, we'll get you fitted, we'll get you your helmet, and I'll see you at practice. Just like that, dude. Like giving me a straight pass, dude. Like you don't have to answer for any of your bullshit. Why you didn't show up to summer double sessions? Why you didn't come to camp? Like just like please come back. Like your heels. That was my nickname, heels, because I used to run on my fucking heels. I don't know if I said that. That was my team nickname, was heels, because like I started off running on heels and I had the Achilles tendons and stuff like that. So I was heels. He's like, your heels, like you're the heart of the team. Like we need you. And so, dude, I straight up like I hate to say the word, dude, but I bitched out, bro. I just didn't go. I just didn't show up. It's like one of the biggest regrets I have in my entire life, dude, is I did not go down there and take that offer, dude, because like that was looking back, dude. That was a lifeline. That was like a guy who like was a strong like
a role model.
Yeah, in my life, and like, dude, like I needed that guy in my life, and he threw me that lifeline, and I didn't take it, bro. Like that sucked. So basically, like obviously, like after that, like shit just started crumbling. Like I got way more involved with stuff that I shouldn't be doing. My life started going wicked fast. I'm 17 years old. Like I am like moving way too fast. I'm doing hard drugs now. I'm selling. I'm bringing like quarter pounds, half pounds, all broken up into eighths into school, dude, and just being reckless, like in my backpack. Like teachers are walking by me, being like, you know what I mean? And this was like the brickweed period, so it wasn't like stinking out, but it was like. But anyway, so this kid came to the school who I grew up with in Rockport. Used to play baseball with. His parents had moved to Wenham. He was in like St. John's Prep for like a week, and he got kicked out. He comes into school. He's cocked, dude. 9 o'clock in the morning. He's cocked. He comes up to me with this other kid, Jerry, who's like, like a good kid. I played football with him, but he's a drunk. He's just a, whatever. He's a kind of a bum. And they were drunk at 9 in the morning, both of them. So Elliot's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Can I buy some weed off you, this and that? And I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, you can buy an eighth and stuff. He's like, I want an ounce. I'm like, dude, I don't sell ounces. Like, you can buy, like, 8/8 if you want, I don't care. He's like, oh, okay, I'll talk to you later. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm like, damn, this kid's such a hotbox. He's been here for a week, dude. He's just like, all he does is cause trouble. I don't even want to be seen with him.
So all he's been doing this whole week is drinking.
Yeah, dude, it's his first. He just got kicked out of St. John's Prep, dude. In his first week at school, and it's 9 in the morning. He's cocked, and he don't understand, dude. Mr. Rice, the assistant principal, dude, he was no joke, dude. He'd go up on the roof with the binoculars, looking out in the parking lot to catch people smoking and shit, dude. Like, he was not to be played with, dude. I used to be so low key about like the way I used to sell bunch. I know like bringing that much weight in school is like just stupid, but I wasn't like doing shit like that, wow, dude. But anyway, so like maybe an hour or two passed, dude. I'll never forget it. This girl like who I used to hang out with, nice girl, dude, but just kind of like would just do stupid shit, and I walked by a classroom and she's like crying, and I just assumed she probably did something fucking stupid, and like I was only imagining in my head, so I kind of like laughed like an asshole. I was kind of immature and an asshole. I was high school, and I remember kind of looking at her and laughing like, man, what now? What'd you do? And she was like, fuck you, Jason. And then like I turn around and all of a sudden like a male teacher's like coming at me full speed. I'm like, what's up? And then they were like, hey, what's up, Jason? And then I was like, nothing, I'm going to lunch. And it was like the opening to like a big room right before the cafeteria. He's like, come here, I want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, let's talk. And I started like walking fast towards the cafeteria. He's like, come here, we're going to go in the office. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to get lunch. I don't know what you're talking about. And then like I went to the cafeteria and I'm looking because I got 4/8 in my cargo pocket. I got like 4/8 in my backpack, and I'm like looking for one of my friends, and I'm like, dude, like what's going on here? This guy's like on me. So I see my friend Tony Vitale, and I fucking slide my backpack to him, and like out of nowhere, another male teacher, Mr. Ma, comes up and just grabs my back, like intercepts my backpack. Next thing I know, there's like literally 4 teachers around me, and I'm like, what is going on? And like, Jason, we're going to have a conversation. All right. And they're like, are you gonna, I was like, oh, are we gonna, I was like, are you gonna make this difficult? Are you gonna come talk to us? I was like, all right, like, I'm fucking outnumbered. I'm kind, you know what I mean? Like, so I'll come have a talk. So we went into Mr. Rice's office, and he was like, I just don't understand this. He's like, I've never even heard your name brought up for anything, like, da-da-da. He's like, going on and on. I'm like, what's this about, Mr. Rice? And he's like, I need you to empty out all your pockets right now. So I empty out all my pockets, but I leave like the 4/8 in my pocket. And so he patted me down. He didn't feel it or something. It was weird. He didn't take the stuff out of my pocket. So he's like, I'm going to go through your backpack. And I'm like, why? He's like, oh, you know. And so he goes through my backpack, and like he didn't find anything in my backpack. And like I had so much shit in there, old dirty laundry. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, you know, there's a report that you've been selling marijuana in the school.
I was about to say, old boy from St. John told on you?
Yeah, well, dude, I didn't find that out until way later, dude.
Nah.
He's like, you know, people have been saying, you know, it's been brought up that you're bringing marijuana into the school on a regular basis, and you're one of the biggest pot dealers in the school, and you've been doing this for quite some time, and it's a really startling revelation, and this and that. And then he couldn't find anything in my backpack. He's like, stand up one more time. And I was like, Mr. Rice, you already searched me. Like, why are you searching me again? And then he felt it in my pocket, and he pulled it out, and it was 4/8. He's like, Jason. And I was like, what the fuck, man? So he called the police. The Hamilton police came. They fucking took me in, dude. They were like, you know, are you going to be a gentleman? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to be a gentleman. So at least they didn't handcuff me. By that time, like, almost everybody in the school was, like, out in the front lobby, like, watching, waiting. So I went in there, dude. I got expelled from school. Like, we're about to leave the police. Oh, yeah. And then I got to the police station. I'm sitting in a room for an hour all by myself, like, just sitting there like an idiot, not doing anything, with a fake ID in my wallet that I totally forgot about. So then they start going through my shit, and they're like, oh, Jason Stevens, Washington, D.C., eh? I'm like, what the fuck? And my mom was there at that time, and she was like, dude, she wanted to rip my face off. And then so we're about to leave, dude. We're about to leave, and then like they hand my mother the backpack, and one of the detectives, he must have seen my eyes light up. He's like, did we check that backpack? And they're like, I think we did. And then he's like, you know, Jason, your mother's holding that backpack. If we happen to find anything in that backpack, your mother's going to be charged with whatever's in there. And I go, There's at least 4 bags of marijuana in there.
Yo,
And he was like so happy. He's like, yeah. And then I thought, so I gave it to him. Fucking, I go home.
Crazy.
We had like a hearing, whatever. I'm expelled from school. I'm a school choice kid. I'm not even from there, dude. Like, so, they're like, you can't go to any public school in Massachusetts until the start of the next school year. So like, Hamilton like totally dicked me over. It was like in end of March, early April, and they didn't give me credit for any of the school year, dude. None of it. And then like, so my mom's like, she was real dramatic about it and stuff like that. But eventually she was like, you gotta work. If you're not gonna be going to school, you gotta work. So I got a job landscaping, and luckily it was like right next door to where I live, like literally like the dead end street that I said I grew up in, where there's like a gravel pit. If you cut through the gravel pit, that's where like they park the trucks for the landscaping. The guy knew me, hired me. It was kind of cool. Like, started working. I was working every day, like a man's job, landscaping, 40 hours a week. I was making money, this and that. And I was like, this ain't so bad, dude. I fucking hated school. And like, we were drinking beers, like after we get done with work, you know what I mean? We're drinking cold Budweisers and listening to fucking, rock and roll. These old guys drinking Budweisers, like fucking listening to Van Halen and shit. Like, I'm fucking, and like, I was like, this is cool, whatever, fuck it. This is better than high school. I don't give a fuck. And so I come home one day, dude. Got out of school a little bit early. I come home one day, bro, and my dad's like putting shit in his car, and it's like, yo, what the fuck you doing, man? And he's like, oh. I'm like, bro, are you fucking leaving, dude? And he was like, oh, Jason, it's just not working out. And I'm like, bro, like, you and my mom ain't fucking slept in the same room for like 10 years. What do you mean it ain't working out, bro? Now you're choosing after a month after I get kicked out of high school, you fucking leaving, dude? Like, I don't think that has anything to do with me. Like, that's not my fault. Like, I didn't push the fucking envelope to make you make that decision. And he was like, dude, he was so pissed that he like couldn't like sneak out without being caught, dude. And like, he gave me some bullshit. Oh no, it's just I'm not gonna really, I'll be just right there and this and that. And he left, and I walk inside, dude. He left my mother a fucking note, bro, on the table. Like, I'm like, dude, what a fucking coward, bro.
Nah, that's crazy.
And I just remember, dude, sitting down on the couch in my living room, bro, and like knowing like my life was like never gonna be the fucking same again, dude. I was like, nothing, no holiday. Like, I mean, my life was pretty fucked at that point, anyways. I just got kicked out of high school. Like, I didn't say something about an instance that happened right before I got kicked out of high school. Like I said, my life was just living fast. Like, someone tried to rob me and a couple of my friends with a knife, and like put the knife in the fucking thing, and like, my friend grabbed the knife. It was really ugly, and the cops got involved and shit like that. So my life was going kind of crazy at that point. So and now my dad leaves, dude. It's like, I'm a 17-year-old kid, dude. I'm like in a really fucking troubled spot, dude. I'm like using drugs. Like, I get kicked out of high school. I'm having all types of mental issues, and like you kind of like need your dad, right? Or like like. So
need a good role model.
Yeah, so he just kind of bailed and like tried to be like, it really wasn't no big deal, and I should fucking kind of chill and just like, hey, bro, come on, I'm just going to the next town over. Like, what are you getting all up at that shit about? So, it just after that was like a steamroll of things. Like, I got kicked out of high school, April or March. I think it was actually in March of 2000. My dad left probably, like May or June. September, I was so friggin' cocked, man. I had a Honda Accord. I was like drinking with these fucking smoking hot chicks, dude. And we drank like a handle of Morgans. And we're at my mom's house. My mom had a pool. We had a pool table in the basement. And my mom was like cool, like especially after my dad left. She let us like party and stuff. And so I was cocked. And everybody's like, don't drive. And the girls left. And then my boy Pratty and I was like, dude, let's go, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, dude, don't drive. What are you doing? So I was like, my mom's like, you are not driving tonight. I was like, oh, I'm not driving. Don't worry. So I snuck upstairs and got the keys.
This snake.
And my driveway is on a hill. So it's like my car was parked on the top of the hill, and then my mom's Isuzu Rodeo is right below. My boy Pratty's like 119 pounds soaking wet. He's behind me. I said, bro, I'm going to put it in neutral. I'm not going to start it so it won't be loud. I'm going to put it in neutral. You push me up the hill.
Bro had a plan.
And as soon as we
you said push you up the hill?
Yeah, I was like, push me up the hill, bro. And as soon as we get on the hill, we'll fucking go, bro, okay? You push. I'll put in fucking neutral. So, dude, I literally clicked the thing. I heard him go, he fucking, dude, he let go, bonk, right into my mom's Isuzu Rodeo. I turn it on, out of the driveway, dude. I'm like, that one is horrible as possibly fucking planned, bro. So we're driving out, dude. We get to Gloucester, and he's like, bro, what is your plan? What are you doing? You are cocked right now. Why are we driving? And I was talking crazy. I'm like, we're going to New York City. We're doing this. We're going to go get some fucking hoes. We're going to do it. And I'm just, whatever, bro.
Gonna go.
I'm loaded, dude. I'm just out of my mind. So we get to his house, and he's like, bro, just sleep over. Like, we're going to sleep on the couch. We're going to, we're just going to sleep this off. This is out of control. This is reckless. So, like, I'm like, yeah. So he's, like, in the window talking to me, dude, and he tries to do a slick move, dude. He tries, like, to catch me, like, not looking. Boom, and tries to reach in and grab the keys. I fucking just gassed it, dude. I took off for about 2 blocks with him hanging out the window, and finally he let go. I stopped, and I made sure he was okay, and then I took off, dude. I hit the rotary in Gloucester. I drove on 128, dude, and I just went. Like, I don't know, dude, where I was going. Redline, dude. Redlined it all the way up 128. I got to where the old movie theater is, like Lowe's in between Davis and Peabody. And I lost control. I spun around twice, dude. I fucking went up on a guardrail. Dude, I didn't, like, have a scratch on me. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck just happened, dude? And my drink was still in the cup holder. I took a sip of it, man. Bro, I'm like, what's going on, dude? So, and I sit there, and I'm in the ignition trying to turn it on and off. I'm like, it ain't working. What's going on? And I open up the door, dude. I'm like up off the ground on the fucking guardrail, dude. My tires are, whole front end's fucking ripped off, dude. I'm like fucking 4 feet off the ground. I'm like, oh shit, this ain't going nowhere, dude. So now people are pulling over. It's like 1:32 in the morning. People are pulling over saying, you okay? I get out of the car. I start running, dude. I have no idea, like, where I'm going, what direction I'm going. I'm looking behind me, seeing if anybody's chasing me. All of a sudden, I see headlights like this fucking thing, dude. That's why it kind of gave me anxiety at first. The fucking headlights are, like, right there, dude, coming at me. And I don't know what I was thinking, bro. Like, I didn't try to move out of the side. I didn't try to do whatever, dude. Like, the fucking police officer said he's like, that kid was trying to kill himself, dude. But I tried to jump, dude, and it hit me right here. Like, I got fucking 2 screws. I got a screw here, and I, like, right, if you look, see how it, like, goes in, like, right there, dude? It hit me. I got 2 more fucking screws down here, and it basically just shattered my leg, dude. Like, I got one leg over the front of the car, and like the rest hit me here and sent me like boom, 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 boom in the air, crashed onto the ground, dude.
Lit.
And
too lit.
I woke up, dude, and it was EMTs, police, and everything, dude. And like my first instinct, I popped up. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't be here. I gotta go. And they're like, kid, you ain't going nowhere, bro. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I looked, dude, and my toes were pointing around like almost backwards, dude. They were like at least halfway, like this, dude.
Up.
I was like,
I don't even want to envision that. That shit just had me fucked up for a second. Like,
so, like, it was bad, bro. So, that was, like, within, like, a 3-month period. Like, kicked out of high school, pops left, and then that traumatic fucking car accident. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, I was, like, ruined after the accident. Mentally, physically, emotionally, dude. I weighed, like, I mean, like, dude, I told you, I was an athlete in high school. I wrestled, I played football, dude. I'm not saying I'm like a Mac daddy. I always had like a cute girlfriend though. Like I was like, I thought I was a popular kid. But when I was in the hospital, like a couple of my friends that I grew up with on my street on Taj Lane, they came visit me. My boy Pratty, who tried to get me to stop, like trying to take the keys from me, he came visiting me. Like 5-6 kids came visit me. When I was home after, like, recovering, when I was on all this fucking restriction, like I was on, like, ankle bracelet and shit for probation, because I was on probation for the high school shit, for selling weed, and then I got into the car accident. So I had to go to the OCC program during the day, and I had to be home at night. I couldn't go outside and shit, unless it was, like, you know, some big, like, a doc's appointment or something that they okayed. So like, dude, like a couple kids used to come over and hang out with me, dude. Like before that, when I was like selling weed in high school and it was a party, there was 30, 40 kids in my house every fucking weekend playing pool, shooting pool, chilling, hanging out till we found out where the party was at, dude. Like I was, you know, like I learned at an early age that you only have like a couple real friends. Like, you know what I mean? You think you have all these friends, dude, but you only have a couple of people that are like gonna be there when shit goes bad. Like when it's not fun anymore to be a friend. Like when it's like they're not getting anything
when
out
it's
of
not
it.
A good, when
like
when shit's not a good time, when the fucking when shit start getting stormy, that's when you could tell when your motherfucking friends
absolutely
who gonna walk to the bus stop when it's fucking a blizzard outside
absolutely.
with you. Who gonna walk that storm with you? Who gonna sit there? You know what I mean? Or who just gonna be like, I'll catch you.
Yeah. So at 17, I learned that, man. I learned that, like, dude, like, I don't have as many friends as I thought I did. I have a few kids that are really there for me, bro, like, no matter what. And, like, I got to cherish those kids and hold them close and, like, treat them right and, like, you know, fuck everybody else, bro, because that's it. Everything else is just, it's just fake. It's phony. Like, these kids are real. Like, keep that tight. And then, like, I went to jail at 18. I don't know. I don't want to keep telling these stories, but they're so ridiculous. Like,
I was about to ask you about that, like that, like how
I went to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dude, these things are in such quick succession. It's like insane. So like we're talking about like not even a year and a half. Like all this stuff happened. So getting kicked out of high school, pops leaving, that bad car accident. And, in between this, I'm kicking up all these like ridiculous possession of Class D because weed was illegal, minor possession of alcohol. Because the Rockport police, like at that point, I'm like fucking public enemy number one. They're driving up down my mom's house, her street. They're like, you know, stopping me every time they see me, pulling me over. So first time I go to jail, I'm fucking hammered at a party. There's two girls, not attractive.
Not attractive.
Not even attractive. And they're like, we got a party you can go to. We just don't have a ride. It's across town. I go, I got a ride. So the landscaper that I've been working with now, it's like 2 summers into that. Like I started working for him when I was 17. Like when I first got kicked out of high school, this is the next summer, dude. This guy loves me, dude. Like I'm a hard worker. Like they, you know, they're just like I'm one of the guys. You know what I mean? They love me. So I'm like, I got a ride. So we go to the fucking the shop where they keep all the trucks, which is like I said, dude. You go down the end of my dead end street, cut through the gravel pit. You're right there. We go down there, dude. I fucking open up the window. I climb in the garage. I take the key. I take the truck. Go for a ride in the truck, dude. Like, I'm fucking driving the truck like, you know, whatever, dude. It's a big-ass dump truck, like F-250. So we're driving, dude. And the girls are like, you know, this is weird. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's all good. So it's me and this kid, Billy, and the 2 girls. So I'm just cocked, man. I just ran right through a red light, and then all of a sudden the cop is behind me, and they're all freaking out, and I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, it's nothing, this and that, and then like I blew through another red light, dude. I just was being
You
like,
just was on it.
I was just like, well, I don't know. So like they like kept like flashing their blues on and off, on and off, on and off, and I just kept going, dude. I'm just driving along, like going like 25 miles an hour, dude.
You took your friends on a joyride.
Like, dude, I don't know if anybody knows like the Gloucester and stuff, but there's this thing called the Back Shore, dude, and it's like the scenic road that everybody goes for burn rides and shit, and it's like big houses, and it's just big houses on one side and just all ocean on the other side, and it's just beautiful and just goes on this big thing, dude. I just literally drove like 20 miles an hour along the Back Shore, and they were just putting on the blues, turning the blues on and off. And so I pulled over at Richdale's, like the first store, and it's like a gas station like that came up. And I just casually pulled over at the gas pump, got out, and started walking towards the store. And they ran out on me like, "Freeze, what the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, huh? What? You know, I was like playing dumb, and they were like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And so I was like, oh, no. So, like, they're like, you know, license, registration, this and that. So I'm like, I don't have my license on me. I do have a license. It was suspended. I didn't have a physical license. So I'm like, I have a license, but I just don't have it on me, blah, blah, blah. I'm not drunk, but I had a couple drinks. I'm under 21, this and that. So they gave me the field test. I passed the field test. Everything was going fine. They go, we need to just get confirmation that you have a valid driver's license. Just wait a minute, we're all good. The girls are like, we're all nervous. And I'm like, it's all good, don't worry, it's all good. Like, I got this. I've had this test. So we're sitting there waiting, dude. All of a sudden, across the radio, Jim's landscaping truck report stolen from Rockport, Canterbury, Lane, blah blah. I'm like, oh shit. And then like they just look at me. And I was like, guys, is there a problem? And they're like, Mr. Trimmins, can you turn around, please? And I was like, what's going on, guys? Is everything all right? I passed the test, dude. My license is good. Didn't you get? Can you turn around, please? And like, I try to do the dumbest shit. I try to do like an okey doke, like point and run and stuff like that, dude. I literally got out into the middle of the street, and it was two young cops. One of them actually went on to be like a customs agent or some like government agent or whatever. But dude, they beat the fucking shit out of me, dude. They were like, nobody gets away, and they just, dude, they beat the bag out of me, and then the girls on top of it were like crying hysterically and blaming it all on me and saying, he didn't tell us it was a stolen truck, it was all him. Like, I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, no one else is getting in trouble except me. I just got the shit beat out of me. Like, why you? And then the kid Billy too, fucking ratting on me. He's like, oh yeah, it was all him. I told him he knew. You know, I'm like, oh my god, man, you guys are a bunch of dicks, dude. Don't you see them fucking just like beating the bag out of me? So they held me overnight. They were treating me like a total piece of shit, dude. All I had was like a wife beater and a pair of gym shorts with like a fucking like string thing. And they said, he's going to try to hang himself with the string. Take his shorts. I'm like, you going to take my fucking shorts, bro? So they took my shorts. They arraigned me the next morning. I'm up there in my underwear with like a ripped like white beater shirt. I got a fucking road rash on the side of my face because they were literally, dude, they were literally picking me up by my arm and slamming me on the face, like boom, boom, boom on the ground. No one gets wet. No one gets wet. No one gets away, fucking beating the bag out of me. So I had road rash all over my face, dude, and fucking, I'm all fucking bruised up and shit. I get in my undies, dude. I'm in my fucking boxes. And, dude, I look out, my mom's in the fucking stands, like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, like, just boiling. Like, boiling. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? So the judge let me go home. He's like, you gotta go see it. Back in the day, they still had Ipswich District Court. And he's like, you got to go see a probation officer in Ipswich District Court because that's where the Hamilton possession case was, like, the intent to distribute out of. He's like, they got to deal with you because you're on probation up there. So I went home. I took a shower. I basically, like, just mentally prepared myself. I said, this is it, buddy. Like, yeah, this is it. And I remember that when my boss came to retrieve the truck the night before when they arrested me at the gas station there. He was like, that's it, Jay-Bird. You did it this time, buddy. You're going to go to jail. They're going to lock you up, buddy. And I was like, yeah, he's fucking right, dude. This is it. So I went to Ipswich Court around, like, second session, around, like, 2 p.m. or whatever. And Judge Morey gave me 90 days. You know, he was like, I could give you the full year if you suspend sentence. He's like, but, you know, you're 18 years old. You've never done a day in DIS or anything like that. Up until this point, you were just like an average kid. You know, you played sports, you went to school, you clearly, you know, my parents, like my mother used to come to court with me and stuff like that, and my grandpa and stuff like that and stuff. He's like, you got a support system, you got people care about you, something went wrong. It's like, but you need to pay. He's like, you have like, you know, 6 open cases, and you just can't stop getting in trouble. So, 90 days, nothing huge, but the thing is I'm 18 years old, like. All my friends are graduating high school and shit. Like, you know, I'm not a street kid, bro. I grew up in the country. Like, I don't know about gang politics. I don't know about jail politics. I don't know about nothing, bro. I'm just like kind of a fucking really naive, sheltered kid, bro, for real. This is before the internet. This was 2001 when this happened. So there was no these jail documentaries. There was none of this shit where you can fucking find out, like, how to fucking, you know, do this and that, dude. I had no idea about anything.
Anything like that.
Anything, bro. So it was a complete culture shock. So, like, I remember, you know, we're leaving in the court, for Ipswich Court that day, and my dad's fucking walking out. I'll never be the same again. Like, I'm like, shut the fuck up, Dad. Like, you're not fucking helping. Like, you're a dick anyways, you took off. But so I go to jail, and back then it was way different. It was Newman, and it was in like the segregation unit, like 120A, and the bottom tier was disciplinary segregation, like people who were in the hole who got fights or whatever, and then the top tier was new man. And before you were classified, you would be in new man, and you were in 23-hour lockdown. When you came out of your cell, you weren't handcuffed and shackled like you are when you're in disciplinary segregation, but you were basically in 23-hour lockdown, and it was rough, dude. So I get in there. I'm in a cell with a Puerto Rican kid who was dope sick. I knew what dope was from like living next to Gloucester and stuff like that, but I had never done it. You know, I had done perks and shit like that for my leg when I broke my leg, but I didn't know nothing about heroin. This kid's dope sick. He's like fucking puking shit and sweating, you know, freaking out. He won't eat his meals. They're giving him a hard time, and like, dude, the whole time, like people downstairs in the bottom tier are screaming, King Killer, G Killer, all this. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? What is going on, bro? Like, what are they saying? And he was like, yo, bro. He was like, you are in for some shit, kid. You know what I mean? When he finally like stopped being dope sick and started talking to me and stuff, he was like, bro, you are greener than green. You don't know nothing, do you? And I was like, what do you mean, bro? Like, I don't get it. Like, what the fuck, man? Why is everybody like, well, why do they want to kill each other and shit, you know? And it's just like crazy to me. So like we were a new man for like, I don't know, a week or so, and then they say, okay, everyone's going general pop. So they moved me and my cellie to 240D, which was like the violent offenders block, bro. And I'm there for fucking drunk driving and selling fucking weed, which weed is just like legal now. And I liked my cellie. He was a little bit, could be a little bit too much sometimes when we used to joke around and play, but he was a nice dude and I felt comfortable with him. He explained a lot of shit to me. He was like, yo, when we get to 240D, like, you gotta go with you got, oh, motherfucker, dude, I'm sorry.
Now you Gucci.
And, you got any towels?
Now you good. No, don't even worry about it.
He was like, you can't talk to me, bro. You gotta be with your own people. I was like, but buddy, like, I thought we were friends. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean I can't talk to you? Like, we're boys and shit. And he's like, dude, no, we're not, bro. Like, you have to go with your own people. That's how it works, dude. And I was like, so confused. I was like, damn, bro. Like, what if I don't like the fucking white dudes there? Like, I gotta hang out with them and shit. And he's like, that's how it is, dude. So like, we got to 240D. And like they put me in a cell, dude, with this big fucking real big black kid, and I was mad intimidated. And like I sat in the top bunk and I was like all quiet, and he was like, yo man, you look hungry, you want Snickers? And I'm like, no. And he was like, yo bro, it ain't like what you hear, man. Like I'm just trying to be nice. You look mad hungry and you got no canteen yet because you just got a new man. Like, you don't owe me nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing to you for a Snickers. And I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm really not hungry. I'm good.
Listen, I hear you, but I think I'm good still, gang.
Yeah. So then, dude, like literally, like the second or third lock, like when everybody came out of their cells and shit, it was back when they had the hot pots, dude. Some dude came out of the cell on the top tier, dude, with fucking boiling water and like threw it in some dude's face and then started smashing him with the hot pot. And then like other people jumped in, started jumping the dude, and they brought like the SRT, which is like the guys with like the black like helmets and like the suits and shit, and the German Shepherds, dude. And I was like, bro, like this is fucking scary, dude. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, this ain't anything I've ever fucking seen in my life. This is scary. And I remember I was playing basketball and I walked way too close to a German Shepherd because I like dogs, dude. I had a dog growing up, and the dog almost took a chunk out of me. If the officer wasn't like a good dude and like actually pulled the dog back, that dog would have fucking like ripped me apart. So like, it was just a real learning experience. And so I did my 90 days. Went by like relatively quick, you know what I mean? I was on 80 lower, like Sacco with all the programs and shit, and like I was kind of like the mascot there because I was like a little kid, dude. And they gave me a worker job, and I used to just go around and like mop the floors at night when everybody else is in their rooms, and I just go in every room and just chop it up with everybody and fuck around, learn how to play whist, learn how to play dominoes, like thought I was mad cool when I come home. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I was 18. I was stupid, and I'm like, yeah, I went to jail. I know how to play whist. I know how to play dominoes. Like I know what like these gangs are, and and stuff like that. Like just like I don't know. It was like stupid, but then like boom, like within 6 months, dude, I was back in there, and then like I fucking another 6 months I was back in there, and then
So
like
you was in and out.
I had like my 19th birthday, I had like my 20th birthday, and I'm like, dude, this is like what the fuck am I doing? And then Deputy Finari, who ran the farm, this little Italian guy, he was like, I said something to him, like he's like, Jesus Trimmins, he's like, you've been here a month. When are you gonna stop pissing dirty for weed? And I was like, my levels are going down, aren't they? And he's like, oh, listen to this kid, now your levels are going down. Too smart for your own good. You think you're so smart. He's like, you're doing life on the installment plan. You know that? And I was like, dude, fuck, man. Like,
Hell nah, he cooked you with that one.
Yeah.
He tried to I was nah, I ain't heard that before. That was crazy.
he's like, you think you're so smart.
Niggas say you doing life on an installment plan.
Yeah. Like 6 months here, 9 months
Nah.
there, a year there.
Nah,
He's like-
he black.
He's like, what's this? Your second birthday you've had here at the farm? And I was like, dude, like I just put my head down. I had nothing to say back, and everybody's like kind of fucking under their breath laughing because they don't want to like straight up laugh at you in front of like a cop because that's like mad disrespectful. But like they were kind of like, yeah, he's clowning on you, you know.
He forced it.
So like I got out. I had like something stupid like 9 months hanging over my head. And, like, I almost made it through, but I violated for, like, something stupid. And I was like, dude, I ain't going back, bro. I don't care. I ain't going back. I'm sick of it, bro. I from fucking 18 to fucking 20, dude. I've been out for, like, a couple months at a time. And every time I get out, it's, like, miserable. I'm just doing drugs. I'm drinking. I'm fucking selling drugs. I got, like, connected with people when I was in there. They're, like, selling coke. I'm, like, always, like, so anxious and, like, just, like, kind of scared. And, like, my parents don't want me living with them because, like, I'm not going to follow the rules and shit. So it was just, like, it was awful, dude. You know what I mean? Like, ever since I got kicked out of high school, my life was just a disaster, dude. There was no stability whatsoever. So, like, I just, like, kind of...
Oh, my bad.
No, say just ask.
Now I'm going to ask you, how'd you get into YouTube?
How'd I get into YouTube?
Yeah,
So, that's...
From that.
That's much later, yeah. So, just basically, like, all that shit led to, just a long addiction, stuff like that. And then, like, I was in a situation where my older mother and her daughter were living with me, and I was going to start doing clamming YouTube, and, like, I'm a commercial clam digger, so I was going to start, recording myself digging clams, but I couldn't export the stuff that I was recording with my GoPro. I couldn't export it onto the laptop to edit. So I had this equipment that I paid for in my closet, and I wasn't using it. So I was just like kind of pissed off about it. And then my daughter and her mom moved out, and it was a tough time. I was depressed, so I decided to get the stuff out of the closet, and I just started recording. And I couldn't export the stuff off the GoPro, so I just started doing whatever. At first, it was really silly stuff, just staying in front of the camera, talking about, whatever. And then, I started talking about Boston mobsters and Boston true crime, and I learned kind of quickly that more people were interested in listening to it if I showed the picture of the subject instead of my face in front of the camera. So I started doing that formula, and the views started going up. So I kind of went with that and caught on pretty quickly. And I just kind of went with that formula and stepped up the production value. And it was just kind of a void that was on YouTube that people really weren't. Nobody was doing stuff. There's definitely people that want to watch that stuff and are interested in it, but
there's still people thirsty for that content, but there's not enough people who's actually doing that.
Yeah.
You're one of the first people I actually seen. I'm like, oh shit, like who the fuck's this nigga? When you did the original Gangsters of Boston, that's how I first tapped in.
So a lot of people did, but they just took that video down. So yeah.
Why'd they take that down?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so I don't know. They said that somebody said that their father took a picture that was in the video. It's a pretty crazy claim. So I emailed the person and asked them about it and said like, it's
So
literally the first thing that pops up when you Google Orchard Park, and it's shared on various Facebook pages. So what is it a problem that I showed it? And
so they reported it.
yeah, apparently they called YouTube or put in a claim YouTube and said that's literally what it said on the claim. My father took this picture used in the video. I didn't know what it was because I couldn't see
Nah,
it.
I ain't gonna hold you. Whoever's doing that, I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all niggas is sucking dick. I ain't gonna hold you. You're forcing it. That was one of the biggest like videos when it come down to like niggas
Yeah,
the
it's
history of Black Boston. If anything, bro, y'all
Yeah.
niggas is sucking dick. Y'all look crazy.
yeah, and that's kind of honestly, I'm
That's crazy.
sorry to say it. It was pretty shitty because it was like really in depth. I was really excited about it because it was really in depth about the history of Black Boston, and I just
it was
titled
about the
it.
Campbell. It was about the Campbell brothers, right?
Yeah, it's the Campbell Brothers. I did title about gangsters, and it did have something to do with gangsters, but a huge portion of it was about like where people who are Black heritage, where they came from originally, like what parts of the South, what part of the West Indies, like just. I'm very interested in that stuff, like not just like with Black people or it's Irish, Italian. I'm Greek, anything. Like I like to. I'm interested in different cultures and things like that, and sociology, and it just was very interesting to me. Like
Yeah.
when did like Roxbury and Mattapan and parts of Dorchester and stuff like that? When did that like transition? Like at different periods of time, different neighborhoods were different ethnic groups and stuff, and like there was different transitions, and it interests me like where they come from and stuff like that. And it was like
There's no history.
there
There's
wasn't
no pieces.
anything exploitive or like negative attached to it. So I don't really understand what the mindset of it is of somebody wanting to take that down. And it brought in a whole new audience to my channel when it was first video that went over 100,000 views, and yeah, man, it was kind of like a special video to me. So it just went, and YouTube just like took it down. They didn't even like say anything to me. They just took it down and then like sent me an email about it after. And they like really don't protect their creators whatsoever or have any transparency with them. And this is like the third instance of something like. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, but they took that video down. So.
Oh, man, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, you've been doing a lot of different videos and different pieces and shit. I actually do fuck with your journalism. You did a piece on what's his name? Bakwa, whatever the fuck, John, the Asian
White Ghost.
Exactly, the white dude who rose into the Asian whatever.
He's an interesting character. I was almost hesitant to do that piece because it's been done to death. Like when the big Rolling Stone article came out about him, and like basically the United States found out about him. There was a lot of YouTube videos, but my friend Stevie, who was actually in jail with him when he was on pretrial before he started his federal sentence, knew him and was on the same cell block and told me some stuff that wasn't in any of these other stories. So I decided, like, hey, this is a different spin. Like, maybe some people would be interested in it, and they were. So, yeah, no, that's a really interesting story.
How long was he doing again?
Excuse me?
How long was he doing?
He's not. I was just gonna say.
I
was gonna say he's coming home soon. He's not doing that long of a sentence. I think he was doing like maybe 12 years. There wasn't anything like murder or anything attached. It was mostly the pill mills down in Fort Lauderdale. He was getting perk 30s and bringing them back up to the Boston area and selling them. That was a huge racket down in what the frick county was it? Broward County. Where Fort Lauderdale and stuff is, like, they would just be like strip malls, just like pain clinic. You know what I mean? It's just like you could. Florida was one of the last states in the country to have like the law where you couldn't go get multiple prescriptions for the same drug from from like different doctors. Like you can't go to this doctor. Like, can I get some perk therapies? Can I get some perk therapies? Can I get some perk therapies? Like you can't do that in Massachusetts. In Florida, you could. So you go into these, place, you go to the pharmacy and
Yeah, so they had a little operation.
Yeah, so I mean, he was shipping them up in something like they had a big operation going.
That's crazy. Yeah. And all right, so yeah, bro, this has been a good little interview. I'll say some space on this. But yeah, nah, dude. Plug a few different things that you got going on before we start closing out.
So so what we're trying to do here is we want to like highlight Massachusetts, maybe even Greater New England, and we want to show what it's really like. There's a misconception of like what Boston, Massachusetts is, and it's changing very rapidly with gentrification. So like I make these videos about stuff sitting in my bedroom on my laptop, which is cool and people like it, but like you can only see so much from that aspect. Like you know what I mean? Like I can't show you what it's really like from my bedroom on my laptop. And people get mad at me in the comments and be like, wow, you don't really know what it's like. So what we're trying to do, and we have our first one set up Monday, is we want to interview people, maybe sometimes more than one per episode, and go to the location and like walk around and show like this is what this is. And I don't want it to be exploitive or biased whatsoever. I don't want the viewer at home to like, I'm not trying to make up their mind for them. I want to just give them the facts. I want them to show the good, the bad, the indifferent, and I want them to make up their mind at home. You know what I mean? I want them to be like, oh, okay. Like some people I bet don't even have a clue what certain places, they live in Massachusetts their whole life and they don't know what.
They don't even know where Milton's at, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't know where fucking Georgetown.
Never been there. No idea what Holyoke looks like, or Fitchburg, or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or they think somewhere is a complete shithole or something. You can go there and be like, look at this. There's actually like beautiful architecture and like they have culture there and different stuff like that. So it's like that's what I want to do. I'm not trying to like put anybody down or anything, but certain channels like like Brandon Buckingham and stuff like that, they always show you like the worst of the worst. They like go to like where all like the drug addicts are, where all the addicts are. Like they get up in the mix and they show you like he's drinking with like people. I really don't want to do that. I want to like show, like I said, everything, the whole story. If there is some bad stuff, like show that as well. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it and say like it doesn't exist, but like I feel like the internet. They're so thirsty for that kind of stuff. And it's like, I know, like, okay, yeah,
because it's good content.
You can just feed that and just make money off it, but it's not right. Like, and I know there's people out there that want to watch like good like content that doesn't have to be exploitive. You know what I mean? So I feel like it'll work, and we have good, strong, like the people that we're gonna like kind of showcase and feature in these first episodes and hopefully all the way through are really like good, strong people that have like a positive message, because we're trying to like do this thing here. We're trying to like kind of like just improve.
You're trying to put on the city. You're trying to improve on your craft. You trying to tap in with different shit.
And we're trying to like elevate. We're trying to lift other people up at the same time.
Yeah, elevate. What you elevate and then you elevate.
Like I didn't mean to get so in depth on all that early stuff.
Oh,
like,
no,
I get carried away talking. I get carried away talking about stuff like that. But the reason like why I talk so in depth and like I share personal stuff like that is because that's like a big part of like what we want to do is we want to help people. We want kids out there. I feel like kids are so disconnected and hopeless right now, and I want them to know like that. Hey man, like people have been through the same stuff you've been through. Like you're not alone. Like you might think like, man, like I'm fucked. Like there's nobody that can be fucked like me. Like thinks like I am or have done the shit I've done and stuff like that. But like More than likely there is, man. So that's what the thing, like, we want to, like, actually have real conversations with people. We want to go places and show, like, this is the place, like, where, like, my life changed. Like, this is where this happened. And, like, we get vulnerable, like, and talk about stuff and, like, just be like, just, I feel like older generation, like, then, like, grown men stuff, like, they're like, letting down the younger kids because they're not taking the accountability and just like being real, and they're like giving them like shit. Like, they're like pushing them in the wrong direction and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. It's time like that kind of stuff changes. I feel like you got to do it with action. It's like you can talk about it all day, but it's not actually doing stuff. So that's what we want to do. We want to make we want to do a whole lot of different stuff.
These YNs don't listen.
Yeah, we want to showcase Massachusetts. We want to show people what it's really like. We want to put some artists out there and give them a platform to show like their craft and stuff like that. But we also want to help people and uplift people and let them know, like, dude, we have been there. We've gone through like the worst of the worst. We thought our lives were over. We thought we had no chance to ever be anything or do anything, and look at what we're doing now. So don't ever count yourself out. Like, don't ever give up on yourself, because like, dude, if you're breathing, you wake up, you got a chance, and you can do anything. You really can.
Feel me? Yeah, you feel me? How's it going? Yeah, I got my boy with me. This was a good one. We ain't even get into everything we could have possibly get into. So we just gonna say that shit for a part 2. Know what I mean? Jason Trimmins. It's been good. I know I'm dragging this shit out.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I hope,
Yeah.
I hope people tap in with me on my Instagram. If you want to be a part of that, if you want to be on one of the shows, I'm dropping probably tomorrow. Artists to watch out for in 2025. So make sure you watch that. And some of those artists, we're kind of like, we want you to be part of this. So it's kind of like we're throwing that out there to be like, hey, we're doing this thing if you want to be part of it. And, we already do have artists that are going to be on it that want to be part of it. So just
make sure y'all tap the fuck in, man.
Yeah, tap it on Instagram.
If y'all when y'all see that video and you see your name up there, even if you don't see your name up there, make sure.
It's J_Trimmins, TRIMMINS, just like my name on on YouTube it's Jason Trimmins, but on Instagram it's J_TRIMMINS. I'll put it up in my video tomorrow where it's like I always, whenever I show my Instagram thing, it's like Millie's put me up on his story once saying like I was the best mass underworld channel. So I always instead of just putting up like my name, I just put that you. Oh yeah,
You gotta give homie the credit for that. He is the best underworld, I'll say journalist.
I see myself as a journalist at this point,
bro. Yeah, blogger, journalist. I don't know. I'll just say that, bro. But you're definitely at the top of the list. You actually got some integrity, on dog. But without no further ado, I got my boy Jason Trimmins with me. Feel me? Let's get the fuck out of here.
Thanks, brother.
Know that.